Ooh, today we have a very bird person update release from JoyToy with the Raven Guard themselves, and I think JoyToy has created an odd problem for themselves, and we'll get into it. So, Corvus Corax, the Primarch, everybody, big deal, bird person, Horus Heresy, 40k version would have been cool. But JoyToy lately, you may have been seeing things going on. Let's start with their collector's edition. They've done collector's editions of like Rogel Dorn, Lehman Russ, if I'm remembering right. I haven't seen any others, but I assume they'll just filter through and redo all of them, right? So they're creating a system where they're showing there's a 2-tier paint system, right? Where they can do the default paint, and then they can also do way better paint for a price, right? Because they charge you more for them. Recently, Jaghatai Khan has come out, and people are like, what the hell's going on here? And so we have an example here from Billy. I don't know who this is. Saki Piao, I guess. Right on. They did a repaint, right? So you have the standard version on one side there, and it's a little pale, little albino. Not great. And you can see off to the side, the sculpt is all there. And if you do a great paint job, you're like, damn, that figure looks incredible, right? And that's getting aside from the whole, like, how they market it, how they show it, if the paint matches the thing. They've ran into that too, right? But I think this is even beyond that, more of a problem. Because you start off with the minis. The minis look awesome, and again, these are like the best painted versions. I mean, the best. I mean, I'm sure fans paint them maybe even better, but like if you look on the website officially, the minis as they're shown, you're like, God damn, that looks really freaking good. Which I don't understand why minis are so goddamn expensive. By the way, that blows my mind. I don't understand how, and they're very well detailed in the models and whatnot, but like the mini price versus what you can get for like a figure that's bigger, it's like I don't get it. But you can see on the mini, right? Like, there's a lot of good detailing, shadowing on the wings, right? So you have multiple versions of, like, how these should be painted. And then you get to the figure. And again, mind you, lately, this display is, like, the best painted version. And sometimes it might end up less painted. But it's kind of like... And we know you can paint it better because you do the collector's editions, right? So it's kind of like... What the fuck y'all doing? Why don't you just do the good paint off the jump? Maybe if you have to raise prices a little, but I don't know. I don't think they're going down a good path. I think the collector's editions and blatantly showing people that you can paint really fucking well when you want to, but then going back and they're like, here's Khan. I don't know. Anyways, that's what I'm thinking here. I think JoyToy, some unforced errors here. Looking at the figure itself, it looks pretty cool. I don't like the wings. And I know, obviously, it's from the mini we just looked at. But when you peel back the painting, I'd rather actual bird wings. The Raven Guard are pretty cool. You can pre-order all these. I'll have my link in the description at LT Cave if you want to check them out. They have pretty good prices. As always, shop around because JoyToy is very competitive. Corvus Corax. Horus Heresy version, I do like the claws. The lightning-y fucking claws. Those are the talons as they were. Super cool. The wing system in the back, super cool. Not enough white though. The whip is pretty funny. It's funny just flying around with a whip. Everybody loves that. Yeah, the whooshy back hair, the lightning talons. Those are badass. This is a pretty good... as far as Primarchs have gone lately, like, Jaghatai Khan didn't come with shit. Now, his armor is much more detailed, but, like, you're getting, like, 2 sets of claws, you're getting the whip, you're getting the lightningness, you're getting the pack, the wings, the stand. I think he's a pretty good value. I think he's pretty cool. But you do have to wonder, when they inevitably do a collector's edition, how much better would it be? So why buy the first one? Like, once you split your line into like a good version and a shittier version, I think you've kind of fucked up. It's way better if you can say like everything is good. But now it's in our heads. It's worth waiting, not buying this guy, because there could be a better collector's edition if you're a huge fan. I don't know. We have a Contemptor Dreadnought, Gravis, autocannon, and Chainfist. The Contemptor Dreadnoughts are the best format, right? These guys look rad as hell. You can't help but love them. They're just cool. It's one of my favorite formats for a Dreadnought to be in. He just looks badass. No complaints here. I think he's dope. I think he's cool. When they do the shots where, like, here's the accessories loadout and there's no accessories, it always makes me laugh. We move on to the Mark III Tactical Legionary. Bolter and pistol. Pretty standard. I think this, they've been doing versions of each. This one looks sick. This one looks badass. So if you had to army build with this guy, I'm down. I like it. And again, a good little setup of accessories there, right? I did that image twice. Whatever. We have more Dathan Shade. Nemesis Bolt Rifle. This guy looks sick. The Raven Guard, it's a cool look. I like... a lot of the Legions I find kind of boring because they're just like a different color. So I like when you get like the cooler emblems and out. And I mean that mostly in like the figure form. When they do like all the variants of the Legions, it's like, but like I like these ones that have a cool look to them. He's got a cool helmet. He's got a cool cloak going on. He's got you have the 2 different helmets. I think I like the red one, right? But that's pretty sick. Accessories, not bad. We go to the Mark 6. What is that? Mark 7? 6, 5. Fucking Roman numerals. I love the plumed headband. That's super sick. Again, like, I think this is a cool style of Space Marine. I think he looks sick. No complaints here. And you have like the different the different heads. That's always rad. Stellar, the scroll, the bayonet, awesome. You get on to more Dathan with Nemesis Bolt Rifle. Is it the same fucking name? I don't know. I downloaded all these images. I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I just grabbed all the same thing. But he looks sick. I like the bones. Raven Guard. That's such a long rifle. No, this one is different. So that's badass. These are cool. This guy, the bird person claws. Dark Fury, Chooser of the Slain. I thought it said Chooser of the Stain at first, and I was like, why are you choosing stains? The wings, they're too mechanical. I prefer wingy looking wings, but this guy looks sick. Big, you can't go wrong with big ass claws, and he's floating around up there. The JoyToy stands, I love these stands. I use them for other figures. They hold a good amount of weight. So yeah, no complaints there. Not a ton of accessories, but it is what it is. But Dark Fury with lightning claws. I think, which claws do I like better? I think I like the Talon claws better, if we're being honest. But the lightning claws are super sick, though. It's cool that they're dropping like a whole freaking legion. I mean, it's not cool for your wallets. But yeah, these generally all look badass. But I do think we're entering fucko territory with the paint, which is a shame. But you can now you know for sure they're holding back on the paint. And again, I understand costs, putting in more detail. Because it's like, why buy this guy if inevitably they do a collector's edition? Why? I think that's actually a big problem, even beyond if they're having trouble painting things like their initial display shows. That's a big problem in and of itself. But even beyond that, because they can correct that and be like, okay, we'll do better with paint. But if they're by default doing 2 different quality tiers, why you should always wait at that point. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And yeah, sorry, turtle heads. No turtle noose. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's not a fucking turtle. Thanks for watching.